Hello everybody, how are we all? Are we well? I hope so. I don't know why I said it like that. So unnecessary. How you getting on? I hope things are well for you. They are for me. You mad lad. I am a mad lad, that is true.
Sausage! Sausage!
On the point of sausage, thanks to, oh shit, I've forgotten who it was. Whoever they are, they're awesome. They was in the Discord. I've uploaded the thing. So if you do a donation, a bits donation thing, you'll hear the sausages. Sound emote thing. Is a sound emote? What's that? I don't know. Sound alert? Yeah. Ah, shut up now. Yeah. So I did a tiny thing to improve the quality of the stream. Tiny. Minuscule. Irrelevant. But you can access the noise if you want it to. It is available to you, one and all. How are you, Helena?
I'm doing pretty well. I have got fish and chips ordered, which can arrive a bit because Novara overran, and so I've not eaten. So this first bit where we watch some hot Keith-on Rigby action, my camera off and I'll be munching on fish and chips at the same time.
Well, that is a beautiful thing for us all to imagine. You've painted a picture vividly, and we appreciate that.
How are you doing?
I'm alive, and at what price? At what price? So
Oh well, how many? You mean you haven't had a wealthy millionaire buy you Birmingham City football tickets yet?
Not yet, but you know what? I am available. I mean, I already have tickets, but it is a safety concern. I've always thought I might get assassinated. So if someone wants to buy me a box, I would definitely not use it. I would literally rather cut off my own legs than sit in one of those fucking horrible glass fucking coffins. But
I'm sure you can call up your official sponsors, Raytheon. I'm sure you can hit them up.
Yes,
for some donations.
Yeah. And to be honest, they don't even have to pay themselves. They just have to threaten to drone the club, and I'll just give them tickets. I think that's how it works. But I mean, obviously, you're doing jokes here about the dear leader. But I think people have overlooked a much bigger scandal, actually, involving a Labour leader and expenses, which flashed across the old timeline today.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's only fair that we have a little bit of both, you know? That we show the real scandal here, that Jeremy Corbyn once claimed £8.70 for an ink cartridge.
Incredible. If you look at his list of gifts, he's done a lot of like speaking fees and has donations from like trade unions, but like at no point has he accepted, you know, £5,000 suits or anything.
But like, what was he doing with that £8.70 ink cartridge? Probably, I think, writing anti-Semitic terrorist messages to the Czechoslovak government whilst maybe not wearing a tie and bowing incorrectly angled at the cenotaph.
Oh my god! Like literally, what's crazy, right? All of the liberal journos going, huh, they literally saw Ian Dunt saying this is just a right-wing plot to undermine Starmer's reputation.
Yeah, that would be terrible. Imagine a right-wing plot meant to destroy the reputation of an otherwise innocent Labour leader. That's crazy talk.
Literally, he said that Keir Starmer's reputation for integrity. I'm like, bitch, Is Keir Starmer's reputation for integrity in the room with us right now, Ian? You bold prick.
Every day it gets worse, though. Every day there's a new thing he's done that was appalling and shit. Now, right, so he stayed... firstly, he paid off a £2 million mortgage on his London townhouse, which I thought he couldn't afford to buy his wife dresses. Where's he getting 2 million fucking quid from, exactly? I wonder where he's getting 2 million fucking quid from. So there was that. That was nice. This one was delightful, right? So, the big sort of scandal is that he stayed at Lord Alli, that fucking prick, you know, the one who got, you know, A-grade access to Downing Street and bought his wife dresses and all the rest of it. He was doing this, during the COVID, he was doing this announcement. Working from home is what can really help prevent infection. From Lord Alli's home.
It's just, honestly, it's absolutely psychotic.
Like,
it really is.
Working from home is good, but from whose home? Chris Kamara.
Yeah, like he's just the most dishonest man ever. It's
literally,
like, whatever, it wasn't
telling other
rules,
people to work from home whilst living literally rent-free against the rules in someone else's fucking millions, gazillion pound fucking townhouse place at the cost of about £20,000. Again, Lord Alli is very generous with very specifically enormously powerful politicians, isn't he?
It's really weird, isn't it? It's very, very strange how this is a coincidence. What's the most psychotic about this is the fact that he deliberately took with him to Lord Alli's penthouse pictures of his family to put on the shelves in the background to make it look like this is psycho behavior. I'm sorry, like you cannot convince me this is a real human being who would do that.
It is.
That's
weird.
so weird.
It's so weird. Oh yeah, it turns out the bloke who was strangling him, not even a security guard, that's a Labour councillor.
Of course, absolutely.
Naturally. Hasn't had the whip withdrawn from him yet for physical assault. Interesting. Yeah. And there you go. That was him announcing, talking about when the Queen died. That's how long ago this was happening.
Did Ali's house have somber urns on standby?
Literally. He was talking about the Queen being dead from someone else's fucking house. Did he ever stay in his own house?
Does he have a house?
Also, how long was this kid's fucking GCSEs? That was 2 years ago. How long have these been? So his entire GCSEs lasted from when the Queen died to this summer. I'm sorry. No. You don't. It doesn't go on that long. They are 2 years, but they're in like chunks at the end of the year. You're not doing the whole fucking thing for 2 years, you lying prick. Also, there's no way it only costs 20 grand if you've been going there all the time. And you said you stayed there one night.
It's just ridiculous.
What the fuck? Madness. Honestly, fucking madness. Another fantastic one. Dame Siobhan McDonough, Mitcham and Morden, received an interest-free loan, apparently, of £1.2 million from Lord Alli.
A small loan of $1.2 million.
As you do, naturally.
I mean, this one I'm probably going to overlook because it was for a house for her dying relative. Like,
Oh,
I mean,
I mean, okay. Look,
not everyone has access, but like to this like, wealthy person who can do it. But yeah,
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I think it's laudable that she wanted to help out her relative. Why is she going to a well-connected guy who likes splashing money around, expensively with politicians in order to do so? Like, just because you're doing corruption for a good cause, you're still doing corruption.
yeah.
You know. So there's that. And then, of course, dozens of people who shouldn't have been released under the early prison release scheme were freed by mistake, including violent offenders, up to and including people who had fucking restraining orders from battered ex-lovers.
Just honestly, I tweeted out earlier today. I genuinely did this, chat. I genuinely did this. I let out like a gleeful cackle. Like I just when the video of Keir Starmer saying I wasn't like we need to work from home whilst not working from home, which came across my timeline, and then I found the link of Lisa Nandy saying that Keir Starmer has missed rules in response to Currygate. I just burst out laughing. It's too funny to me. It's too funny to me watching this, watching the adults in the room just crash and burn
Well, I love
miserably.
this. Yeah, I love the juxtaposition in this of Anna Soubry's. Is it just me, or is something everything feels normal? No more psychodramas or scandals.
It's nice, isn't it? It's nice, isn't it? The quiet.
Grown-ups are back in charge, and isn't that awesome? Fucking hell, they really are.
Politics is boring again. Politics is back to being boring. Are you enjoying the boring
she
chat?
says, yeah, look, we can go back to looking at politics at the corner of our eyes.
Yeah, isn't it weird how for some sector of our commentariat, some sector of our politically interested members of the public, for some reason, they got to ignore politics up to this point. Isn't it weird how like there was a time when they ignored politics? Some of us, we don't have the luxury of ignoring fucking politics,
No,
mate.
very much so, very much so.
And their interest in politics was, oh well, do I have access to the quick queue for when I fly out to my villa in the south of France, or does the politician look good on the world stage rather than can I afford my fucking
My favourite one was the and I'm sure she's a nice enough person, but the person at one of these FBPE fucking rallies with the sign that said was there with her dog who said, "Tell him he can't go skiing this winter."
Yeah, like it's just it really smacks of people who've never had a political problem in their life until 2016. The people, it's even it shouldn't be as it shouldn't be more embarrassing, but it is more embarrassing.
Yeah.
The people fucking waving EU flags at the proms. Like, we get it. Brexit was bad. Get some real problems.
Yeah, it's and also like it's done.
It's over.
Like it's not just over, but on a kind of funny, if you look at it from a slightly wry angle, you're essentially saying you might as well fly a flag with the letter L on it because you lost, lads. You posted a big fat L out of the jaws of a W. You pulled out an L on this one because you decided to be wankers who didn't listen to poor people on fucking anything for 50 years, and then wondered why they didn't want to vote with you. Crazy. Anyway, and you're basically saying, look how much of a big bunch of losers we are. Like, let it go. It's not a good look, and it makes reversing that L all the more difficult.
It's so tilting that so many of these FBPE people are massive Starmerites. They're huge Starmer fans. And they won't even recognise that the reason why we have hard Brexit is because he deliberately tanked it to oust Jeremy Corbyn. And they're just doing basic research into the history of Keir Starmer's chicanery in the background during Brexit isn't anything relevant to them because he's their guy.
Yeah. Well, vibes, yeah, vibes. He was anti-Brexit. Doesn't matter that he literally made it worse by him and the Liberals scuppering any chance of a soft Brexit. No. That's irrelevant to the situation. Vibes. Adults back in the room and vibes.
Because if we actually, again, because I think we both agree, we've been very much on consensus on this issue with regards to Brexit and the negotiations. Right, 2016 meant we had to leave. The vote that we had to leave, anybody trying to undermine that or overturn it was always on a hiding to nothing because they were trying to undermine democracy very specifically. Yeah. But the key issue was mitigating the problems. We all knew there were going to be problems. We all knew it was going to blow up in the country's faces and leave voters' faces. We had to mitigate the problems and we had to compromise. We had to do a compromise. And both people on the pro-Brexit side and on the pro-Remain side refused to. They refused to compromise. They refused to come together and say, well, it was a close vote. We need to find some kind of mediated position. And the only sensible politician who admitted this was true, so, I mean, there were some people on the Conservative benches that did, like Ken Clark and people like that, but it was really the Corbyn faction, because they didn't want it to undermine their political position. And to be a lesser extent, a lot of people like Ken Clark didn't want to undermine it too. This was a sensible, rational decision.
Yeah.
Well, because Corbyn was slightly too Brexity, they had to destroy him. They all voted for they all had to go rally behind Joe Swinson for some fucking reason, right? And the Lib Dems gave us hard Brexit by refusing to back the
exactly.
votes.
Yeah, exactly. You could have forced a situation where you could have had a genuine coalition of right-minded people, be they Brexit or opponents of Brexit, who went, okay, the people have chosen, and now so we've got to leave the EU, but let's maybe not fuck ourselves too hard with this one. Maybe we, keep ourselves involved in certain aspects of it in order to not go off the fucking cliff edge, so to speak. And then they went, no, we can't have anything to do with that. So they went, instead, let's give the keys to the guy saying, no, let's go off the cliff edge. Yeah, let's do that. I intend to go off the cliff edge. And they went, yeah, hand that fucker the keys, because, jam man bad.
Fucking space-time continuing warping levels of hubris.
Yeah, unbelievable. Is Release the Sausages a reference to Brexit? No, it is not. Although we are very much sausages to fate on this one. Yes. That's hostages to fate. It's a very funny joke. You should laugh at that enormously, I think, actually. And if you wanted to hear that, that's a sound alert now. If you give me bits, you can hear him say "release the sausage."
I need to update that on my.
Because that's the only good thing he's ever going to say as Prime Minister. So fuck it, it's becoming a sound alert. It's happened. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
He's not charismatic or memeable in any other way other than when he fucks up.
No, it's true. But did you see him speaking at the UN? Like, was he trying to bore Russia into giving up? I don't know. But, he was especially soporific. Even by his own standards, he really was fucking NyQuil. Jesus Christ. Anyway. And fucking David Lammy. As a black man, I can see imperialism. Can you? Is that why you voted for Iraq, you prick? Is that why you literally stand there shaking Benjamin Netanyahu's hand? You prick.
Quite.
Fun times. Anyway, Keir Starmer, getting absolutely fucking rammed by Beth Rigby. And I'm very much here for it.
Absolutely.
Prime Minister, thanks for joining us on Sky News today. During the general election, you campaigned on a message of change, of doing politics differently and making yours a government of service. And yet you find yourself caught in a row over the huge amount of freebies you've accepted while leader of the opposition, £107,000, far more than any other MP. Do you acknowledge that this has undermined your message and reputation? And are you sorry about that?
Well, I think it's important just to put it in its context. Any gift or donation to a politician has to be declared. Everything I've had has been declared. And sitting behind the numbers...
I don't care that you've been more open about your corruption than previous prime ministers. You're still doing the corruption.
Because I don't think they get... I think the problem is that actually Labour haven't grasped why it's caught hold. It's not about whether or not there was... whether the rules were followed at all. They've never cared. And they actually don't even necessarily care about the idea that it's a quid pro quo either. What's interesting is actually us here on the left, we our biggest concern is that it's a quid pro quo. There's a scratching back going on between the rich people and the government. And this is cronyism. Actually, the biggest thing that's catching the public's imagination is the idea that there's one rule for them and another rule for us, and that it's not representative of them as their political representatives. Because the journalists seem to want to have the hypocrisy. You wanted to attack Boris Johnson for this, but now you're doing it as well. But public, they really took to Partygate because it showed that the elites thought they lived in a different world. And that is what Keir Starmer looks like, having banged on during the election especially about his dad being a toolmaker, trying to like
Hang on,
flaunt his
I didn't-
perceived working
I didn't
class
hear this.
credentials.
I didn't hear this. When did he mention this?
I know,
This
right?
news?
Shocking revelations. Keir
Okay.
Starmer, toolmaker dad, exactly.
Oh, wow, okay.
And no, when it comes to, when brass tacks, when we get down to brass tacks of it, you know, he's just the same as everybody else. And I mentioned this on Novara. Like, there's a political cost
Yeah.
to him being perceived as being as bad as everybody else, and the media know this and are pushing it
Yeah.
because it makes life much easier for those who are worse. It
Oh,
makes
God,
life
yeah.
easier for the genuinely massively unscrupulous rather than the slightly unscrupulous. Rather than us actually saying, well, no, Keir Starmer is the same as the Tories, but why are we not talking about the fact that there are politicians who aren't the same? You can go look. You can go to if you register a member's interests. You can look up Zara Sultana. You can look up John McDonnell. How many tickets for the football? How many luxury penthouse suite bookings have they been given for free? Zero.
Yeah.
None. Not a sausage. Just union donations.
Yeah.
That's it. And they don't want you to know that.
Of the sausage.
They crushed
Getting
that.
free stuff as
They
PM
crushed
is
that
not a
when we had
choice.
a
Being
potential of coming
disabled
into
or too
government.
ill to work
And
is
now
a choice.
all we have is
Keith's
blue
logic is
corruption or
Tory
red
logic.
corruption. And the opportunity of something better is gone.
True. Thank you, Kieran, for being the first to trigger that alert. People didn't hear what the fuck you said at my end because they were hearing Keith go, release the sausages. So, fuck her. But she was making a very good point, and you should all agree. Yeah, the great noticing on behalf of the media, because there's no way they didn't know all of this. There's no way they weren't very much aware that all of this was going to happen.
That's the thing, is that that's why
so
that's,
disgusting.
we
with
meant
it. And it sort of does play into this thing, right? Because he was going on about Partygate, and yet, whilst of course it's not as bad, he was telling other people to stay in their homes, whilst he wasn't even in his own fucking home, whilst pretending to be in his own home. Like, it's a piss take. He isn't actually morally any better. He's stolen less money from the public purse. True, that's fine. But, like, he is morally equivalent, I think. Yeah. Fuck him.
That's the thing as well, is that Michael Walker pointed this out on Novara the other day, and I think he's right in that I don't think the journalists realised how much this would capture the public's imagination. I really don't think they did. There was one story, and then it spread like wildfire across the social medias, and I don't think they prepared for this. And so now you've got all of these things all coming out at once because journalists are like frantically scrolling through the lists of interests to find something that they can pin politicians with.
Yeah.
Which is,
Well,
again, shows you that they're disconnected. They think this is business as usual.
Yeah. Well, it sort of strikes me as the same. It's a much smaller scale because it's not public money, but it has a feel of Expenses Gate. It has that kind of feeding frenzy feel to it, where the malfeasance of politicians, which had been going on for years, and they'd often put this down in expenses on paper, right? It was there for all to see, but no one fucking checks that shit. I don't know what my MP gets because I can't be fucking bothered checking, and I'm a politically engaged person, so look, no one's checking. I expect that the media are going to do something about that, and they didn't for years and years, and it got to the point where they were up to all kinds of duck houses and fucking undersoil heating for their second house.
The stables, Nadeem Sahawi stables, which can be interesting because he's on Question Time tonight.
Yes, along with the tiny queen herself.
Absolutely.
Love
Rid
it.
of some Marxism, Denurism, the immortal
Fuck
science.
Yes, let's go. Yes. Anyway, yeah. So it has that sort of feel to it. I think that. I don't think people expected the expenses scandal to be as big a deal as it is, and I don't think this government were expecting this to be as big a scandal as it is. Because again, they're so out of touch with it, because it's not just a matter of it appearing to be one rule for us and one rule for them. It is.
Yeah.
It just fucking is. Yeah. Oh, I should explain for America. There was during the expenses scandal, so during the mid-2000s, there was a thing about parliamentary expenses, which is like, there are legitimate expenses like postage for letters that you're sending to members of your team or constituents or whatever, or like actual expenses you incur being an MP. And they were taking the piss out of it to like claim absurd shit that had nothing to do with their job as an MP, including one who had a dock house built. So a Tory who owned like a mansion which had a lake in it, had an island in the lake, and he used public money to build a dock house so that ducks on his lake, on the island in his lake, could live in the duck house. And he charged the public purse for that. That was one of
there's
the
also
highlights.
the guy who had fucking moat. A guy fucking claimed for a moat.
Moat, yes. Yeah. Oh yeah, Jackie
Like,
Smith's
Jackie
husband.
Smith,
Jackie Smith's
he's
husband.
now
Literally.
she's in government.
Yeah.
She's literally in government
Jackie
as an
Smith.
unelected peer of the realm.
Jackie Smith, her husband, claimed pornographic movies on the public dime.
And I quote, this is a direct quote from Jackie Smith, according to the media article that I read on this, is I'm a disgrace and I shouldn't be a lord. That lasted long, didn't it? That lasted a long time, didn't it? Because he also had second home shit as well.
Yeah, yeah. And they're still doing that second home shit. I saw Chris Bryant going on about this today, and I thought, you cheeky fucker, you check. He's flipped his second home twice in the last 2 years. So we pay for his second house, he flips it, makes a profit, and we have to pay for another fucking house. Well, we pay for the interest or whatever on the new house, whatever the fuck it is. Anyway, either way, he makes a fortune and we pay for it.
I mean, at the
They're
end of the
still
day,
doing
right?
it.
I mean, if there's a cost of living, if there's a housing crisis, right? We have a housing crisis in this country. You know, build them a fucking dormitory, make them sleep in, make them, you know, start behaving like adults by forcing them to share a room. Have a big dormitory like a YMCA.
Yeah, if it's okay for students, stick them in one of them little fucking rooms. They get their own shower, communal kitchen. Boom, away you go, lads.
Exactly. And then all of their second houses can go back into the housing stock for regular people to live in.
Yep.
Simple. Housing crisis solved for 600 people.
For 600 people. But still, you know. Or we could just, reclaim the houses that are owned illegally by corrupt Saudi and Russian money.
True, we
And
could do
corrupt
that.
British money, lest we forget.
It was really funny watching like rightoids and like The Spectator during the invasion of Ukraine, saying, "But what would happen to the property rights if we seized the property of Russian oligarchs? Think of the property rights."
Yeah, I thought about it for all of 5 seconds, and I went, "Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, let's do that."
Exactly, literally.
Don't threaten me with a good time, you pricks.
There's some human explanations. So quite a lot of that money was for tickets for football matches. I pay for my own tickets at Arsenal. I've got season tickets. Unfortunately, I can't sit in the stand anymore for security reasons.
Because they don't like you. Because they don't fucking like you. Literally, there was a banner at Arsenal. Did you see the banner at Arsenal at the weekend? That said something like "fuck off 2-tier."
Oh no! Oh dear.
Its own football club. Yeah, you know what? I think there is a security concern now. Yeah.
And the club have said, well, in which case, be our guest in the director's box if and when there's space. Now, no money changes hands. You can't buy a ticket. But then the register says, well, what's the amount that would be the equivalent, even though you didn't buy it?
Okay, but Arsenal are a private company. What are they giving you, the Prime Minister, freebies for? What are they expecting for that? I don't care. I don't give a fuck if it's like, well, no money exchanges hands. I don't give a fuck if the money exchanges hands. Something of commensurate value has been given to you for nothing? Do football clubs often give loads of shit away to everybody?
I mean, I think with the football clubs, you could probably get away with by saying, well, they want the prestige of having the Prime Minister at their events, right? Like, that might be enough. But this doesn't explain away all the fucking Lord Alli shit.
Well, no, you absolutely can't, because they're literally in the midst of this. They're going to potentially put up some sort of organisation which might get the European teams thrown out of Europe because they've got this fucking thing. So they're going to maybe look at doing something about. I don't know how to describe it really, but that they're.
One second, my food's just arrived, so I'm gonna
go for
pop
it.
down.
So they're going to
let you entertain chat.
Indeed, they're going to put rules on these Premier League teams potentially. They're going to legislate to try and curtail them in some way, which may go against UEFA's rules. So there's definitely an interest in Premier League football clubs schmoozing up to top politicians to try and prevent that from happening. So there's no way I don't think you can say. Money didn't exchange hands, therefore it's fine. No, that's not okay. It's not okay at all. And not just that. It's not just that justice is done, it's that justice is seen to be done. We've talked about this before, right? That you have to actually have propriety at the core of it, right? People have to know that you're not corrupt. Not just that you're not actually being corrupt. And this just looks and smells very, very bad. Very bad. Don't forget, everybody, if you want to check out the sound alerts and emotes and stuff, you can give money to either myself or No Justice MTG in the form of bits, messages, subscriptions on Twitch. On YouTube, you can become a member for as little as 99 pence. You can give memberships to the community, or you can do super chats, which will be read out. Just checking to see if question time is ready yet. Should be about ready, I think. It usually goes live at like 8. How are we doing, chat? Are we well? Question time. Watch live. Is that the one? Yes, sign in. Fuck's sake. Why does it ask me to sign in? And then it'll ask me to sign, and then now I'll press play, right? And it'll say, "Do you have a TV license?" Like, so I'm going to say
let's
no.
start with our first question tonight, shall we? Which is,
like, for real, shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. Anyway. Has anyone ever pressed no when it asked you, "Do you have a TV license?" I doubt it, right? This twat's still getting gifts. What, me or Kia? Because I'm not. Kia definitely is. Certainly. If Starmer was in the stands and his neighbour gave him a free hand job, would he have to report that? How much would that theoretically cost? That's a very weird question, and I don't think that would count, no. I don't know. I don't know. Small gifts. A birthday present of clothes or a food hamper from a family member would typically not affect benefits. Large gifts. If someone regularly receives large gifts such as car, furniture, or payments of significant bills, these could be scrutinised and might count as income or capital, according to universal credit rules contrast. Well, exactly, yeah. Again, it really is one rule for us and one rule for them.
Always has been.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's in a big club and you ain't in it.
True.
Buy the ticket, and that has to be declared.
Yes.
Now, that means if I didn't do that, I couldn't go to Arsenal. I go with my boy. Second example I'll just give you is...
You could just not go. You're only going to be Chancellor for... Not Chancellor, you're only going to be Prime Minister for 18 months, so, like, just give it up for 18 months.
Some of that money was for the loan of a flat during the election period. No money changed hands.
Yes, and that was related to your son.
Yeah, there was no cash adjustment. We had a situation where the election was called, not when we expected it, I think most people. My son happened to be in the middle of his GCSEs. That means there are a lot of...
Why do they lie so blatantly when it's going to be so easy to check? Because people, like, he said this, technically he was interviewed yesterday. This is at the British consulate in New York, because he's at the UN, you know. And so he said this yesterday, and people have checked. And he was speaking when the Queen died at Lord Alli's house. So he was renting some part of this house for some amount of money at least 2 years ago. So this wasn't just during your son's GCSE.
People knew this too, but it wasn't reported on.
Yeah, like literally, it wasn't just during the summer because of the election. This was 2 years out. This was 2 prime ministers ago.
Literally.
Literally. I mean, because presumably he must have been renting before that. So, like, literally before Liz Truss had even murdered the Queen in cold blood. And she did, by the way. Definitely, 100%. Absolute slaughter. Good on her.
Journalists outside the front door and in the street. I'm not complaining about that. But if you're 13, as my girl is, if you're 16, as my boy is, that's quite hard to navigate when you're concentrating on GCSEs. Now, hear me out, because you put it to me.
Yeah.
So I...
Ooh, Kia, getting a bit touchy. No, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. Okay.
I do like it. I do like having fights between politicians and journalists. This is what it's supposed to be like. Yeah. Weird how this never happened for fucking years under the Tories.
But, like, Keith usually doesn't have a backbone. When did Keith learn to stand up for himself?
I said, we're going to get you out of here and get you somewhere where you can just study and get to school and back without having to go through all of that. And that's when...
And so you had to go to Lord Alli's very expensive London townhouse? That was the only option you had. You couldn't have bought him a hotel room for a couple of weeks. You didn't have relatives you could go and stay with. It had to be this man who was also giving your wife money for clothing and buying your fucking glasses. It had to be that.
The thing is, as well, is that actually, you know, if you've already got access to this penthouse because you and Lord Alli are really close, like, it being somewhere that your son goes for his GCSEs, to study for his GCSEs, like, it's not entirely unreasonable. But it's the fact you have the access in the first place, which is clearly had for years and years at this point.
Yeah.
It's weird to me that the thing that's come under scrutiny is the GCSEs thing, and not the fucking Christmas message. Or this time during, like, the announcement for the Queen's death.
He had to bring Lizzie into disrepute as well, didn't he? You absolute monster. What kind of patriot would besmirch the dead Queen in this way?
There's literally zero justification for it. Zero. None at all.
Exactly,
None at all.
yeah.
Like, you just wanted to film in somebody else's house for some fucking reason. Is your house so bad?
Not just that, but you have a big office in Parliament you could film in. As the leader of one of the parties, you get a proper office. If you're just a random MP, they stick you in a fucking cupboard, frankly, right? But if you're a member of you get a proper big office, and that's film there. Hire a studio.
Opposition.
Yeah. London is very good in that it has lots and lots of television video space. It's quite well known for filming lots of shit. Go there.
And someone said, well, in which case, I can make this flat available to you. It's safe, secure. He can get on with the job. No money exchanged hands. No money exchanged hands. But for the
but a very expensive house temporarily exchanged hands. That's quite a lot of money. Do you just think, well, corruption is only when they're literally giving you fistfuls of cash? No, you fucking prick. This was worth £20,000. It doesn't matter if it gives you it in cash or in kind. That is a donation of a substantial sum of money. More than some people have to live on in an entire fucking year.
Yeah, no, Kevin. It's only like corruption or a conflict of interest if it's somebody wearing like a black band around their eyes and holding like a massive bag that says dollars with a big dollar sign on it. That's the only time it's ever corruption.
Or if it's someone of Italian-looking persuasion with a suitcase full of money. That's also another example where it can be corruption.
Exactly, like they're chewing on a toothpick and flicking a coin. Like...
Exactly, yeah. You know, the nice cabinet you got here. Shame if something happened to it. That sort of thing, you know. Unbelievable creature.
Registrar, no, but you've put it to me. Let me just finish. For the registrar's purposes, he says, well, I know you didn't pay and nobody gave you money, but let's work out what it would have been worth if it had been a commercial transaction.
Why did he say that like it was a reveal on a game show? Let's see what you could have won. All right, fucking Jimbo in you prick. Calm yourself.
Which it wasn't. So I'm not saying, of course I understand why you ask questions, etc. But I do think sometimes it's important just to sort of look...
Also, I don't think him doing this sort of dismissive thing of like pretending like this is totally fine and that he doesn't really understand why people are angry at this. I don't think that works well for you either. You sort of need to be... It's slightly pathetic in a way, but you sort of need to like flagellate yourself for forgiveness sort of thing in public. To say, I know I did a bad thing, I apologise for doing the bad thing. And then you can begin to get past this. If you just go, no, it's fine actually, my son needed to do a 6-year-long GCSE course, so it's fine.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but I do think it ends up being like internet drama, where if you don't apologise, people just keep banging on at you to apologise. And if you apologise, the discourse becomes, he admitted he was wrong. Let's crucify him even further. So you can't really win. But unfortunately,
you can, because it's time. It's just, you've got to think of this temporally,
true.
right? This can drag on and on and on if he carries this on. Or he takes the short-term sting of quarting going na on the Peston show. Right? Which is embarrassing, sure. Having fucking sneering little mini fucking ex-prime minister just having a go at you over the dispatch box at PMQs, not pleasant. Or you can put up with this until the end of time if he wants to. So just rip the band-aid off and just have done with it.
Yeah, just get it out of the news cycle and focus on the conference.
Because this is a fucking disaster. Like, he's speaking at the UN. This is supposed to be his time to be like, I'm Mr. Big Dick. Look at me. I'm at the UN. Huzzah! And everyone's just going.
Vladimir Putin, yeah.
Everyone's just going. Did you buy any of those clothes? Did you buy that tie? What about those glasses?
Who paid for your plane to New York?
Well, hopefully hopefully the taxpayer did. I would assume. Yeah, that's fine. I got no problem with that. But like, literally, no one's talking about the fact that he was also shit at the UN Security Council today.
Yeah. Also, by the way, thank you, Jack Meller, for the 20 gifted memberships on YouTube. Thank you, Kevin Mawson, for the 10 gifted subs on Twitch, which Twitch have given an extra 2 to. And thank you, Anonymous, for another gifted sub.
Oh yeah,
appreciate
that's
all of the gift
thing they do now. If you gift 5 subs, you get an extra free one. Which I didn't know. I didn't know was a thing, but yeah. Thank you, Alex Otter on YouTube with a $5 donation. Love all round for everyone here. Well, indeed, except for the guy on the screen, obviously. Well, the grey-haired guy on the screen. Well, the one with more grey hair. Let's just put it that way. Found a couple of grey beard hairs today. Honestly, I'm thinking of buying a coffin and just getting in it and waiting. I think that might just be the quickest way for all of us, to be honest.
Behind the number and say, what was the human story behind some of this? And I wasn't going to let my son fail or not do well in his GCSEs because of journalists outside our front door. We also, as you know, had protests.
Also, by the way, I'm not even buying that as an excuse, let alone the time factor that it definitely wasn't all about that. Even if we say for the last 3 months, he wanted his kid to do well at GCSEs. His house is quite big. He's got quite a nice house in London. If he's working from one of the back rooms in that house, there's no way, unless they're doing drilling outside of your house, unless they're tearing up the concrete in the street, your kid can study just fine in that house. That's fine. You actually don't need to move him out of that house.
True.
Like, and to be honest, he wasn't even there most of the time. So why would the journalist have been there? Because he was up and down the country. Because it's an election campaign. Surely the best place would to be at his house, where Keir wasn't. Anyway, a lot of bollocks. He's talking shit.
Protesters outside our front door.
Do you find these questions hard?
Do I find protesters outside my front door when our children are in there worrying? Yes, I absolutely do.
Have you tried to stop being a cunt, and then people will stop protesting outside your house? That's an option.
Well, it's funny. It's funny that there is a potential situation here where Palestine protesters have essentially caused a donation scandal for Keir. We have taken him down in the most convoluted way possible.
Well, in many respects, isn't Keir Starmer the biggest victim of the current flare-up in the Middle East?
True.
One of the most unexpected victims of the bloodlust of Zionists has been Keir Starmer.
I want my son doing his GCSEs walking through journalists and protesters. No, I don't. I promised him, I promised my wife and I promised our children would protect them, and we will. But in both those cases, no money changed hands. It was simply a gift from Arsenal.
It feels to me you're a bit defensive. Like, do you feel you're being misunderstood on this, that we shouldn't be...
To be fair, and I don't want to be fair to him, I get why he's defensive. Like, people are basically saying you're a massively corrupt piece of shit. And whilst he is that and should admit to that, I get why that would get you back up. I get why you'd be like a bit...
of the sausages.
The thing is, my initial response was...
Sorry, hang on. Sorry, no. Right, you didn't hear that. But in that tiny silence between me ending that sentence, someone gave me 200 bits. Thank you for that, by the way. And that fucking alert went off and I nearly had a heart attack. Fuck me. Because I'd paused it, so he wasn't going to speak. And then I heard his fucking voice. And it freaked me the fuck out. Oh, no.
Thing is, thank you, Anonymous, for the 2 more gifted, by the way. The thing is that... You should not. I potentially would cut him some slack, and I think that there might be a situation in which his advisors have told him, "No, get in good graces with our lords and the people who make sure you build these connections."
Yeah.
You're a politician, now you've got to do this. I would have give that argument some credence if I didn't know just how much he liked freebies, considering that the state paid £250,000 for a luxury limousine chauffeur for him when he was the director of public prosecutions. £250,000 of public money spent on a private chauffeur for him.
Yeah.
He likes a freebie.
He does,
He likes
exactly.
living in the lap of luxury.
This is his whole bit. And to be honest with you, I don't mind a luxury. If he wants to pay for his own fucking stupid excesses, go for it. It's a bit gauche. It's not ideal, but like, if he pays for his own bucks at the Arsenal, go for it, champ. I couldn't give a fuck. You enjoy yourself. A Prime Minister should have his Saturday afternoon off. Fine, go for it. If he wants to pay for his own wife's fucking fancy dresses, fine. You've got £2 million to pay off your fucking mortgage, mate. You can afford a dress. It's the fact that he wants it free. And the fact that he doesn't seem to care that the potential quid pro quo is there. Whether he's even doing it innocently. Even if he is doing it innocently. Let's say Keir Starmer is the most pathetically uninquisitive person there has ever been. And thinks that these people are just being super nice to him. For no reason whatsoever. That still counts against him. Because he should know. He should know. He should absolutely know that he. Sorry, I've just been fucking distracted by that fucking emote, that sound alert again. But we're gonna have to do something about that. It's already pissing me off. Anyway, he should know that the potential for the conflict of interest is there, and that he won't.
Exactly.
This won't look good when you've come in on the back of the Tories are corrupt pricks. We're gonna do We're gonna do a government in the service of the people, not the party or whatever bullshit he was going on about. That absolutely counts against him that he doesn't see this.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
But the thing is, he does see it, and it is corrupt. So look, it's not even. You don't even have to give him good graces for it.
Yeah, 100%. Like, if you're going to be elected as the most powerful person in the country, maybe if your claim is
Hang on,
that
he's been elected. He's been elected leader of News International. When did this happen?
Hey, like if you're going to be elected to the highest position in the land, like maybe you should be a little bit more scrupulous and a little bit less kind of easy to dupe.
Yes.
If you think that this is all happening in a vacuum and they're just nice people giving you nice things because they're nice.
Exactly.
If you're like that credulous, then you shouldn't be in your position. True,
because he's at the UN at the minute, and I reckon Vladimir Putin might not always tell the truth. Which could be an issue if you just take people at face value, Kia. I'm just saying, diplomacy might not be your gig.
Fine. And again, like, we seem to be having all of the people in defending him. Like, there's the Jessica Seymour Casey, who I tweeted a bunch of list of lies of Keir Starmer out.
I saw that. It's very good, yeah.
Yeah, she seems like genuinely shocked that people had this negative opinion of Keir Starmer. Really, really shocked. And I was
because
just
again,
like,
there's the right opinion, and then there's extremism. That's all it is to these people. You either have the correct opinion, which is, the middle class, chattering classes, fucking southeast bullshit opinion, or you're an extremist, you're a populist.
Like, and she's like a Casey. She's also a Casey, and I'm like, if you're a Casey and you're this bad, identifying political dishonesty, how the fuck do you think I'm supposed to, have confidence that you can do that during your legal career?
I don't know. I really don't know. Thank you. Oh, we're on a hype train. Thank you, everyone. For Bitty Bits. Thank you, Elliot Serco, for 2 gifted subs. Thank you, Main Captain, for Bitty Bits. If we get to level 3 of the hype train, I will finger Lord Alli's mansion.
I've had a level 5 hype train. Thank you, Tilbear, for 2 gifted and Anonymous.
That's fucking
pretty
dope.
Sick. Thank you very much, Twitcherinos. Also, Mork Newick says, I'm literally talking about a car and driver exclusively reserved and always on standby just for him, because that's the only way to make it cost that much. I don't think it was specifically on reserve, but he used it very frequently. Because remember, he was head of the CPS for 5 years, was it? 6
Something
years?
Like that, yeah.
It was a very long time that he was in that position, but he used it very frequently.
True.
It was £2,000 a day, I think
That's
it is.
fucking
That it was worth.
ridiculous, yeah. Thank you, Mellow Maggot, for 5 gifted on the YouTubes as well. Much love.
just gonna get a drink one sec whilst we watch
Yeah.
this.
That there
No,
are
no, I
reasons
think it's-
behind all these expenses.
I think it's really important you ask me the questions. That's why the declarations are there. But this is just I think behind some of these numbers is
Yes.
a human story, and it's all important sometimes
But
just to explain what the
but I
story
want
is.
to go back to the framing of it, which is you have said that we are all in this together. You said in your speech yesterday, it's a shared struggle, a project that says to everyone this will be tough. To coin a phrase, we're all in it together. And for some of it, whether you like it or not, it will look...
As if you're quoting that bit of the speech, I am. As if that's the sentence from the speech you're fucking quoting. Please. Bring out the sausages.
to some people that we're not all in it together, that because of your position, you get privilege and freebies that other people don't have access to. Take GCSEs. There will be some people that would also want a private place, have a different environment where they would like their child to go so they could have a better opportunity. Do you see how it...
One thing I will not accept in all of this is the Tory wankers out there who are like, oh, so he gets to have special treatment for his kid during their GCSEs, but what about the small number of children whose lives have been affected by the release of VAT on private school tuition? Your childhood has been ruined. And you're just like, literally fuck yourself to death. Go away, you pricks. In Minecraft, of course.
looks to some people that there's one rule for you in terms of being able to claim this stuff that other people don't have access to.
Well, I think that's very why the rules
There
are
is
there
a
to
human
declare.
story
Look,
behind
every
each
day,
person.
Do you get it?
every day,
Do you
I
get
get
how it looks?
The rule, the declaration rules is to see where the conflicts of interest lie, so people make informed judgments on that.
Yeah.
That doesn't change the fact that it's still one rule for everybody else.
True.
Or different
if
worlds,
you're
right?
putting
You know, the rules are the same, right? But like, you live in a different world, you have access to things that normal people don't have access to, and that feels bad in a cost of living crisis.
Are you suggesting that I don't get given free tickets to football?
Oh, well, that's true. I mean, not all of us have our Raytheon paymasters, so...
True. Me and Raytheon like that.
to me, Beth, that I should have stayed in my Kentish Town home and disrupted my son's GCSEs, that was the right thing to do, then I think you should put that to me.
He's getting a bit testy.
No, sorry. I've not seen him like this. Imagine if we had him at all beforehand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, if you think I should fuck up my kid's education, I think you should put that to me, Beth. Yes, actually. Like he's the one who's being hard done by. Also, if your house is such a disaster, why do you live there? Why do you make your child live in this box? What is this?
Okay, well, you're saying that you shouldn't have stayed in the home because you wanted to protect your boy.
I wanted him to be able to
And
do
I
his
think many
GCSEs,
parents-
and any parent would have made the same decision. I don't wake up every morning thinking about that. I wake up every morning thinking I've got a mandate to change the country. I've got a mandate to
But do you
improve living
understand
standards.
the
I've got a
I'm trying
mandate
to
to
You've got a
improve the
mandate
health
with
service.
of it,
Lord
Prime Minister.
Alli.
If I
I was about to say, yeah.
That's all right. That's really Lord Alli is like famously a very big gay rights campaigner. So making that joke's probably a little bit out of pocket because he did help pressure the end of Section 28. Like Wahid Ali has some wins.
Well, maybe
but
it's very true then. Maybe he's buying a date. I'll be honest with you, Ali. With that kind of money, mate, you can have every hole on me. Go for it, kid.
But like the thing is, the problem, of course, is that regardless of how they're good on social policy, which is what you've heard a lot of this saying, well, maybe Lord Alli just really likes the social policies of Labour Party, and like that doesn't change the fact every single pound that Wahid Ali has spent donating to the Labour Party, giving gifts to members of the Labour Party, or helping the Labour Party win elections, is money that was taken from the surplus value from the people who he employs, or the company he owns employs,
Yeah.
in ASOS. Every single penny is surplus value of his workers. He is bourgeois. He is in the direct material opposition to the interests of working people that Labour claim to want to represent. And that you're taking money stolen, a surplus value from those workers, to spend on Keir Starmer.
As well as and taking £4 million from a fucking hedge fund as well.
Yeah.
I mean, they just. The idea that they're the party of Labour. Like, honestly, I think they've got a good case for fucking Trades Descriptions Act claim against them. Because they're not. To the party of finance.
Capital.
I go back to what you claimed in opposition: £4,500 on holiday accommodation, £16,000 on clothing, nearly £3,000 on glasses, over £35,000 in football, concert tickets, rugby, the race.
35 grand on football. How many fucking games are you going to?
I think to be fair, I think that's 7.
What?
I think that's 7 games because of how expensive boxes
That's
are.
fucking ridiculous. London's a joke. Fuck that. Fuck that, man.
I genuinely think it's like only
You
7
couldn't
games.
get me to pay that money to watch Prime Barcelona. Fuck off. Not a chance.
I think it's £4,500. I think it was per ticket. It did just say maybe it's more than that.
Four and a half
Sure it was 5,000.
grand.
Something
What
like
the
that.
fuck? Do you get a fucking rim job as well for that? What the fuck is going on with that money?
Like, the lives that rich people lead are just completely different.
No, it's on a
Howard.
different level. It's on a different level.
Yeah, 'cause they literally, people who would go to these VIP boxes, they literally spaff money away like it's chump change.
Unbelievable.
How was he able to enjoy the games if
Unbelievable.
he didn't have good glasses before?
That's
Welcome
true.
to capitalism. Welcome to capitalism, chat.
How was he?
This is how
was he
money
able to
works.
enjoy the games if he didn't have good glasses? It's a very good point. True.
Is over £17,000. There might be human reasons for it, but do you understand the optics of it when you are the Prime Minister that said you were going to do politics differently? It looks like you're claiming
Yeah,
loads
true,
of freebies.
actually. Thank you.
Well,
Good point, Solly.
Do you-
He said he was going to do Marxist capitalism.
It's not an issue.
I wonder if this is an
£3,000
issue,
on
chat.
glasses.
Is this an
Are
issue?
they
Nah, it's
X-ray
not
or
an issue.
something?
No, it's not an issue. It's not an issue. Not an issue. Thank you, Sozzle Snake and Crustronomy with bitty bits. Much love.
And thank
Yeah,
you,
I don't know how
Morton, for the bits.
Yeah, I don't know how much glasses are. Is £3,000? That sounds like quite a lot, but I don't really know. Is that a lot for glasses? Probably, right?
Well, the bits message through was the I'm looking for a man in finance song. Literally anybody, anyone who knows how to do AI, please, oh my god,
Yeah.
please do like a Keir Starmer
Yeah.
deepfake where he says, I'm looking for a man in finance to fund me.
How
Buy
mu-
my wife's clothes.
How much do glasses cost UK? Let's have a look. Because I honestly don't know. I'm one of the few people in my family whose fucking eyes work. Depending on your opticians, what brand you get, they can cost anywhere from £20 to £300. So £3,000 is quite a lot then. Yeah. Well, that's children's glasses.
That's
Okay.
like 10 times the upper bound.
As a guide, most clients invest more like £550 to £650 on a single pair of vision lenses, or £800 to £50 to £995 on varifocal. So basically, at the very least, it's 4 times the average. Okay, that's quite an expensive pair of glasses. Yes, yeah, that is a lot.
Do you get it? Even if you don't agree with
Well,
it.
I've given you my explanation, and I can't improve on that. If people think that
I just bought glasses for €15. Fucking hell, man! So you can get a cheap pair for fuck all, basically, and he's spending £3,000 of someone else's money. Fuck off, mate! You absolute scumbag.
So when Keir
decision.
Starmer responded there and says like I understand that, all I could think of was, well, he didn't like it, but you have to go along with it.
Exactly. How
He
did
is
he
all
say?
very-
How did he say it exactly? Presumably, he said it in German.
Ich nicht.
to
Actually,
try and
I
protect my-
actually said, hail me a taxi, I'm late for my flight.
God, that show was good.
It was very
Buns,
good.
GCSEs was the wrong one.
But
They're free to do
there's
so.
lots of other
If-
things
if-
in that,
if-
but it's
if-
not
But
about.
again, this is what I mean, Kia. Sneeringly saying to people who are upset that you took this money or you took £20,000 for this fucking house thing, saying, well, if people want to judge me harshly for being such an awesome dad, that's on them. Like, you're asking for weeks of this. You're asking for this to never cease. Because trust me, the British public will never tire of beating the shit out of politicians. Metaphorically, of course. In the media, we enjoy watching cunts like you squirm because you're bad people, and we enjoy that happening to bad people. So continue to be a wanker, and it will continue to happen.
Yeah, quite literally. And the thing is, that's what's crazy as well is that all of the people in the Politburo in the background, they were literally saying, well, this is how politics works. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to be corrupt. You're supposed to get all these donos. You're supposed to do all of that. Like, it's like, you told us you wouldn't do this. You run a campaign on not doing this. Maybe Keir wasn't told, whatever, but they always had these plans to input their mates into high levels of power, to take money from wherever they could to try and bolster their coffers, no matter how corrupt. And I'm just like, maybe you should have thought of that before campaigning on this issue if you didn't want this to be the headline for fucking weeks. Sure. Jesus.
Just as again, one rule for them, one rule for the others. He got 3 grand glasses, or 3 gland, I suppose, glasses. The NHS voucher values for glasses, there are 10 different values which range from £42.40 to £233. So if you're on the NHS and you need glasses, you're going to get 200 quid at most.
Yeah.
Which apparently is fine, and you can get a decent pair of glasses for that. But
yep.
he gets 3 grand glasses.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever met anybody who hasn't been on the NHS for glasses. Yeah. Ever.
Yeah, well, presumably Keith isn't. Because he's got his own free at the point of use service called Lord Alli.
So he has used private healthcare then. Ooh.
Well, yeah, he must have done. There's no way the NHS paid 3 grand for his glasses. Yeah.
Mm.
About your son.
Sir Q jumper, Casey? Surely not.
People feel that I should insist on sitting in the stands at Arsenal, notwithstanding the cost to other people.
The clothes,
that's their
the concert tickets, there's other things in that.
Well, on the clothes.
No. Here, my boy, my baby, sweet cheeks. You can go to the Arsenal. I couldn't give a fuck. Pay for your own shit. That's all.
Oh shit! Sorry, Santnav in chat. Apparently, Saeed Avasi has resigned to the Conservative whip. I'm surprised it took that long.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear why she's done it now, of all times. I mean, they are staggering further and further to the right, but they've been out there for quite some time.
I mean, yeah, she quit the cabinet because of David Cameron's failure over Operation Protective Edge in 2014. You'd have thought that, Trojan horse and all that shit.
She's been speaking out against Islamophobia in the Tory party, and it's only been getting worse, so, why now, I guess? I mean, I've grown to not necessarily like her, because she's still a Tory, but, for a Tory, she's one of the ones I least want to put... she'd be at the back of the queue for the trebuchet.
Yeah, true. Absolutely, yeah, 100%. It's just, but it's her and basically Rory Stewart, I think, are the only ones who escape too much of my ire. And me, I still lob shit at Rory Stewart quite often, but at least he admits that austerity was bad and is now a champion of cash payments to the poor.
Yeah, you throw shit at him mostly because he's an annoying liberal now, rather than because he's a Tory. But yeah. Well, that's the thing. There used to be annoying liberals in the Tory party. That used to be a thing. Not anymore. It's moved so far out there now that you couldn't get the kind of... Anna Soubry of the world. This kind of person who's just an FBPE type.
She still defends austerity to this day.
Loads of liberals fucking do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, even the Liberal Democrats, like Christine Jardine from the Liberal Dem front bench, was on Pod Save the UK, bringing up the fucking Greg Hands meme with the Liam Byrne letter from the Treasury, and I'm like,
yeah, you
can't just say you can't defend austerity. You murdered people. You socially murdered people. You Liberal Democrat fucks.
Yep. Indeed so.
I mean, look, in the general election campaign, we're busy, and lots of people want to help, and in this particular instance said, well, I can help with...
Okay, but why is it always this one man, and why was he given preferential treatment and access to Downing Street, where he really didn't need to be there?
Oh, he got some other metaphorical hand shandies as well from people. So first of all, he failed to declare that he had interest in a tax dodging firm. I think that was right.
Nice.
We literally talked on Navarra today, and I've already forgotten. And then there was another thing where somebody was in his office who got appointed to somewhere else. It's all just fucking wheels within wheels.
And of course, it would be interesting if there was a combination of those factors, where Keir Starmer was given was sat alongside one of the top lawyers for a firm which guides companies through tax dodging law, and he was sat at the Arsenal for free this weekend with the Foreign Secretary.
Good, love it.
So
love it.
that's, look, they're doing kind of synoptic corruption right now. They're bringing all the strands of corruption together as one. Little wankers.
That's it, right? So Matt Folding, who fixed a bunch of selections for Labour MPs during the picking the PPC for the PLP.
Yeah.
Did so whilst on secondment from Lord Alli's office, and failed to declare ingestion a tax haven firm. Those are the two things I was trying to.
Jesus Christ. Fucking mad. How is he not in fucking jail, let alone, like, owning the Prime Minister? Fuck me. Anyway.
That's perfectly legal, but...
Well, yeah.
Morally fucking completely corrupted and bereft of ethics, but perfectly legal.
Everyone go and follow Lesbian Hot Sauce.
Do it! I command you! I command you to follow Lesbian Hot Sauce.
Sorting out some clothes. In opposition, that's one thing. What I would say now is I won't be doing donations for clothes again. There won't be any declarations like that. But look, I think that's a matter of judgment for individuals.
Well, it depends if someone good comes along. Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe I couldn't get Oasis tickets, but maybe Lord Alli can get me there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe I can get. Look, if they do a second round of the Eras tour, I can't say no to a bit of Swift. Let's go. Like, what the fuck, mate? It's a matter of judgment.
Tory Party HQ has released a statement on Varsi saying she's been using divisive language. Okay, and they were about to investigate her. What the fuck? How cooked is the Tory Party?
And again, does at any point the ECHR want to step in and actually investigate these evil fucks? Because, like, Jeremy Corbyn was investigated for way less than this.
Yeah,
way
like
less.
Fucking Ken Livingstone and Pam Bromley. That's all they fucking detailed in the CHR report.
Whereas these motherfuckers are like, she was divisive for calling out our Islamophobia. That was very hurtful to us. Like,
essentially doing what the Labour Party did to Faiza Shaheen.
Yeah, pretty much. That's fucking wild. Honest, the Tory Party had lost it. But this dickhead's only just ahead of them. Brilliant.
And Beth, I might just gently say, Sky invite us to quite a lot of hospitality events. Your summer party is a great party costing thousands of pounds, and you.
Why are you? But you realise that makes it worse. You're now just saying to another person who's well connected and corrupt, and she probably is. You should be on my side on this one. I thought we were both on the corruption train. Why are you calling me out for this? That makes the situation way worse. What the fuck?
What are you saying? It's always been a big club, has it?
Yeah.
Never.
I thought we corrupt people stuck together. What's going on?
You invite me every year. Presumably, you want politicians to continue to come, and part of that is how politics. And that's why the declarations are.
That's just how politics works. Yeah, we are part of a big club, and that's how it is. Got a problem?
He's wild, this chap. He's just swinging. Fuck me.
That's why I was kind of like bought into the idea that maybe he just doesn't get it.
I don't think he does.
Told by his betters that this is just politics works. It'll be fine. It's not a problem. You accept all these gifts, and then he's going to government. And then
to be fair,
I get pack of lies.
Yeah, to be fair, right? For months and months, well, for 2 years, he's been getting away with this. Presumably longer. Presumably ever since he was in the fucking shadow cabinet, he's been getting some of the freebies, right? But actually, even further back to that, you talked about the fucking limo for him at the CPS. So, like, he's been getting this for a long time and getting away with it. So why would he can presume that would continue? Of course it would. He's never known any repercussions. He just thought, well, that's just what comes along with the gig. It's just free shit. That's perfectly normal. And now people are calling him. He's like, whoa. I thought we were all doing corruption. Why are we now not doing corruption?
Oh my god, this is hilarious. So Satnav in chat has used the 80k guy emote with, I'm not in the top 5% of lobbyists, I'm not even in the top 50% of lobbyists.
Fuck me, this is Genuinely lovely. Amazing. Big fan of this.
dear.
Big fan.
To get to, which I think I can see, but perhaps you can't, is that for some people out there, it looks like you were going to do politics differently, and now they're seeing that you're claiming for lots of freebies, and it feels less of a clean break, and to some, a sort of continuity Johnson of getting rich.
It's not even continuity Cameron. Continuity Johnson. Look at his fucking... like a slapped ass. Absolutely.
Look at his face.
Honestly, if looks could kill, this would have committed genocide. Look at it.
Literally, it's that guy who Simon Cowell said was terrible on Britain's Got Talent, and then it literally just pans the hand and goes, look at his face.
Literally, he's thinking
not
about
happy.
stabbing this person to death right now in his
Daggers.
head. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Friends to pay for stuff.
Well, I've given you the
But
explanation of...
do you just not accept?
Look, I'm giving you a fucking answer. I'm done with it. Fuck you.
You and me, we're done professionally.
Exactly. No, I won't be applying to your fucking parties anymore, dickheads.
That am I just?
I understand why you're
On a
asking
different
questions.
page.
I understand why you're asking questions. And
I understand
of course
why you're
right.
asking questions. Yeah, she's a journalist. Look, I know what he means, but like, just analyse that sentence. I know why you're asking questions. Okay, mate. Fair enough.
to ask questions, and because you've asked questions, I've given my explanation about why it is that I don't go in the stands at football now, why it is that I wanted to protect my son in his GCSEs, why it is that, you know, my judgment call has been that when you've invited me to the Sky party costing thousands of pounds...
Look, if you're going to drag me down into the shit, I'm pulling you down with me, bitch.
Absolutely, drag her, Keith. You go on. Is this the adults? Is this the adults in the room, boy? I'm feeling. This is giving adults in the room.
Don't you love it, all the quiet?
It's
Really?
nice, isn't it?
It's beautiful. No more melodrama.
every year. I've accepted that invitation and come along.
And you would see that as a work event. Would you see a Taylor Swift concert as a work event, for example?
Absolutely clapped him. That's a work event. You're speaking to journalists. That's a work event. Taylor Swift, on the other hand, you bitch. What's going on there, chap? Like, literally, this is amazing.
Dumpstered and dumpstered.
Absolutely fucking ruined, mate. Like the best kind of peanuts, roasted.
Dry roasted.
I think it's a judgment call for each
So you don't
MP.
want to change the rules?
I think it's a judgment call for each
Okay.
member of Parliament.
So you're not going to change the rules, just to be clear, you don't
She's
think the rules need...
Paxmaning him now. She's fucking Paxmaning him.
Okay, where the fuck was this when the Conservative
Yeah.
Party were in power? Jesus.
I know.
Turns out our journalists weren't doing journalist impressions after all. They actually are journalists. They were just choosing not to be.
Amazing. So, are you going to change the rules? Do you want to change the rules? Do you want to change the rules?
Did you threaten to overrule him?
I did not overrule him.
Review in light of some of the
Well,
backlash.
on the question
Two-thirds
of-
of the public think you should not accept these...
It's a judgment call. In relation to clothing, then I have made the decision that I won't accept donations for
At least
clothing.
now we
That
can
was
finally
something that
click
was
off
done in
not answering
opposition.
the
We're
question
now
on the
in
bingo
government,
sheet.
so
Yeah.
you won't be seeing those declarations.
Okay, Primus, one other thing. Conference has just voted against the emblematic policy of your government cutting winter fuel allowance for...
Yeah, this was a belter as well. I mean, it's symbolic in a way, but the trade unions went, should we take a vote? Who's against this freezing pensioners bit? And overwhelmingly they went, yeah, let's not do that.
Oh, you know what's fucking hilarious though is that she said, you know, the emblematic policy of her government would cut the winter fuel allowance, the means test. And I'm like, not GB Energy or the British Investment Fund, like the Sovereign Wealth Fund, National Wealth Fund, that's what they called it. Not the Bill of Workers' Rights, your New Deal for working people. No, they've cocked up their communication so badly. The policy they're most known for is freezing pensions.
Yeah, it is the policy. If you asked your average person, what's the policy of the current government? instantly I think 99% of them would either go, I don't know, get out of my fucking way, or aren't they going to do something about taking money from old people or something? Like, that's the thing they're known for.
God.
They're known for corruption and freezing granny.
Absolutely master political strategists,
Brilliant.
guys.
Honestly, just well done, guys. Not just that. Did you see the actual vote on the conference floor? They went to this vote, and after it was won, the speaker went, solidarity with working class people, blah blah blah, and then it massive standing round of applause, and it panned round to the top table, and Luke Akehurst honestly looked the angriest I've ever seen a person look without screaming.
There was also a moment
And I
where
honestly, that will get me through some dark nights this winter. Just the image of that in my mind.
Yeah, at one point there was the motion was gonna pass anyway, but someone requested a card vote where everybody makes their vote known physically, and somebody in the background didn't realize his microphone was on and says they'll get spanked if we go to a card vote. Just pass the motion. I was just like, they don't want anybody to know just how much the entire Labour conference disagrees with this shit. Like, because it's humiliating. I said this on Novara today. Like, the opposition disagree with it, the third parties disagree with it. The members of the Labour Party agree with it. The left-wing members of Parliament disagree with it. The trade unions disagree with it. The only people who agree with it are the fucking Starmer Politburo. Everybody else thinks that it's terrible.
Yeah.
Pensioners, it's been rejected by your own party, your first conference as Prime Minister, and they have voted you down. It's not just Labour.
It's gone very well for you, Keith, hasn't it? It's been a wonderful week. What a conference bounce you're going to have in the polls, I'm sure.
But it's the country that's not with you on this policy. It's bad politics.
Well, I do understand why people are concerned about it, but we inherited a £22 billion black hole.
No one
That's
cares.
money that was off the books that the last government hid from the public. That's got to be dealt with in year. We've taken a decision to deal with it because that will stabilise the economy. That means we can commit and do commit.
So you are freezing pensioners to stabilise the economy. So you're literally burning pensioners. You're literally just throwing pensioners onto the fire.
Biomass fuel.
Yeah, in order to make the red line go up.
Literally, that's the line. Is he using pensioners as biomass fuel? That's what he's doing.
Yeah. Thanks, Keith.
Also, thank you, Jack, for the £10. I'm against the austerity of the shut nightclubs, pubs, and venues all over the country, but I'm in my ideal Britain of Marxist Denyerism, all for austerity that shuts down any club Keith frequents. True, absolutely. Spite politics, let's go.
And through you, I recommit to the triple lock, which means that for pensioners, state pensioners, was £900 extra this year, 460 predicted next year, and so on and so forth.
That's
which is why by
inflation pegged,
stabilising
it's
the
the same in real
economy,
terms.
we can ensure that pensioners are better off with a Labour government. And that's why we've taken this decision. But it is important that through you, I say, for all those that are entitled to pension credit, that they take up that credit, because then, of course, the payment is guaranteed for winter fuel allowance, and also there's the benefit of the credit itself. So those are the two things that I think are really important on this.
Final question, right? You said in your speech, no return to Tory austerity. To make it clear, are you considering changing borrowing rules in the budget to allow you to borrow billions more for investment in public services? Is that your answer to no return to Tory austerity?
Well, there will be no return to Tory austerity. We saw the damage that has done, and we're still feeling the damage that has done. Obviously, and I'm not going to get ahead of the budget, I've said...
Honestly, the two women that run this government, Sue Gray and the Chancellor, have not told him what's going to be in the budget. That's why he keeps saying, I'm not going to get ahead of the budget, because they haven't told him. He doesn't know.
He's again. You know what? What was the Matt Zarb cousin tweet? Oh my god, it was incredible. Let me find it. I don't want to quote this incorrectly because the way Zarb worded it, was just too funny. I think I quote tweeted it, so I think I can search myself to find it.
Yeah.
Evergreen. Ba-ba. Hey, thank you for becoming a member for 9 months, Katie, and the 5 gifted. Appreciate you.
Yes, don't forget you can give money in the form of bits, subs, memberships, super chats, available on both channels. Everyone, you are awesome.
No, I can't find it.
Well, I don't know what you're referring to, so I can't help. He should claim tickets for old people so they can be warm for 90 minutes a fortnight. That is a very, very grim but funny sentence. Thank you, Kath.
That's the one. This is the one, right? This is the tweet that how Matt Cousin described the fact that Keir Starmer isn't in charge of basically anything in the government. He said, if Starmer becomes Prime Minister, he'll be like a little child sitting on one of those corn-operated cars you find at supermarkets that go backwards and forwards, turning the steering wheel around thinking he's driving, but actually not in control of anything.
Literally. Literally, yeah.
That's exactly what's gone on here.
Yeah, Rachel Reeves and Sue Gray and fucking
Morgan
Pat
McSweeney.
McFadden. These are the people who are actually running the show. This fucking
The
gimp,
Politburo.
this freak, this little fucking Bilbo Baggins monster gets pushed out in front of the fucking cameras and has to do his bit. But like he's just the person who gets the verbal slaps from Beth Rigby and for some reason continues to take it. I don't know why. You are the Prime Minister. It's pathetic.
Yeah. Thing is, if he wasn't such like a lying monster, I'd feel sorry for him.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you know, he's made his bed and he's going to lie in it, and it's going to be miserable, and I will feast upon his misery.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And yeah, his destruction, both literal and physical, I suppose, metaphorical, I should say, sustains me. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Growth, economic growth is our number one mission, and we are talking to investors across the world about investing here in the UK, the conditions and the stability, and therefore any public element of that will be alongside private investment.
But you're not ruling out, so you're considering changing borrowing rules?
I'm not going to get ahead of the budget.
In principle?
I'm not going to get ahead of the
But
budget
you
or go
will
through.
borrow to invest?
Look, I'm not going to get ahead of the. Well, governments have always borrowed.
She double Paxmaned him.
Oh my god.
I've never seen a double Paxmaning.
Multi-kill.
To invest. The question is whether we can trigger in the private investment that we need. And private investors say to me, what matters most is economic stability. That is the thing they consider over and above all else, which is why we're taking the tough decisions now to ensure we've got the economic stability that we need.
Literally go fuck yourself.
Amazing.
Mate.
Amazing though. Wasn't that just
Beautiful.
art? Genuine art there from Beth Rigby.
Loved it.
Starmerbot 3000 has encountered a problem and must close. Would you like to send an error report?
True. Beep boop. Anyway, I'm sure we'll get more fucking Starmer hate on Question Time.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Let me just pop my Twitch link into YouTube chat.
Oh yeah, we've got so we'll be going off YouTube now because we will be copyright cucked on the YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, come over to the Twitch. Either of our Twitches work.
Yeah,
so go for
absolutely.
it.
So I've just popped the link to Twitch in my YouTube chat. Please come across and watch over on Twitch. We will not be able to stream this to YouTube. So if you're enjoying the content on YouTube today, click the Twitch link in my YouTube chat, or go to twitch.tv/NoJusticeMTG, or indeed twitch.tv/KFLogan1875 to come and join us for enjoying Question Time. It's got Carla Denya on it, which should be pretty funny, and it's got Zia Yusuf, the guy who's funding all the Islamophobia, which seems pretty weird. So if you want to go and enjoy Question Time, please hop on the link that I've just provided in chat for you. And if by any chance you happen to be an Amazon Prime user, you happen to have access to Amazon Prime, once you come over to Twitch, you can link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and then you can give us free money.
Yeah.
Free money you can give us. If you're already paying Jeff Bezos your money anyway, rather than having all of that money go just to Jeff Bezos, you can take a portion of that and give it to us at no cost to yourself and get all the benefits of a Twitch subscription. We can only use it once, so either me or Kevin, either one works, but if you are paying for Twitch Prime, you might as well send some of it to us rather than Jeff Bezos. He doesn't need it, we do.
Indeed so. And on that bombshell, I'm going to give you a
Do you need to register to
countdown.
watch on Twitch? No, you don't need to register to watch on Twitch.
No.
Although
to subscribe you do, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to use a subscription, then you have to have an account, but it takes like 5 seconds to set up an account.